This is a pull-up bar. This is actually the piece of equipment that's responsible for the most failures inside the Army's new combat fitness test. The fifth event on their new test is referred to the leg tuck, and they have to be able to mount the bar, be able to do a set number of reps in order to receive a passing grade. This has proved to be very difficult for a lot of people for numerous different reasons. Today we're going to be going over it and giving you some exercises and movements that you can have inside your training routine that will increase your preparation and performance for the leg tuck event. We're also going to be covering grip strength, what it is, what are the different types, what do you actually need to be training for to improve your grip strength. And towards the end of the video, we're going to demonstrate how to do 20 of them correctly, 20 being the max event. We're going to demonstrate how to do 20 of them correctly. Make sure that you know how it's graded and how it's scored, so that way you're set up for success whenever you go out to do yours. Make sure every rep gets counted. My name is Benjamin Morris. I am a tactical strength and conditioning facilitator and military master fitness instructor, and preceding my name anywhere I go is the title Pacific Best Warrior. So let's show you how to go from 0 to 20 on the leg tuck. The first in the chute is going to be the halo. Very simple exercise, gets us some good abdominal and high glute work. We're just laying down flat on the ground and making a big circle with our feet, moving them all the way around to the side, and at the top of the circle, raising them as high as we can in the air, and just trying to hold our hips up off the ground for as long as we can. Make sure that your toes do not go past your eyes as you're bringing them back up. Bring it to, but don't go past. You don't want to be kicking all the way back. You're just trying to make those as big a circle as you can control. We utilize these in either strength or endurance days. They fit well in both those days. The next exercise we're going into is a 90 hold with a toe touch. So we're going to bend our elbows, hold at 90 degrees, and toe touch over top. Really good exercise to help you start building towards the leg tucks. Make sure that you're getting your feet up all the way over top and that you're able to hold your 90 degrees at that level with your elbows. We mainly use this inside of our power days. You're not going to be able to get a lot of reps in, but make sure you focus on your forms and the reps that you get in are done correctly. So the next one after this is, it's called a heeled sit-up, or also sometimes called a Johnson sit-up. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a band behind our heels, and we're going to be doing sit-ups. So rather than holding the top of our feet or toes down, it's behind our heels. And what happens here is where that puts tension on the hamstrings. Hamstrings and hip flexors can't fire at the same time, so you're getting nothing but really good abdominal work. So we once again use this mostly on our strength and endurance days. So now we move into the standing twitter. It's Twitter. It's a TWYI. So we're going to go into bent over state, and so we're going to focus on our thumbs the whole time that you're doing this. You can do this with an open palm or a closed palm, either one of them is fine, but I am moving my arms through space, moving my hands through space, and I'm going to a T, to a W, to a Y, and to an I. And at all times I'm trying to pull my thumbs back as far as I can, and just making those small control muscles in my back that are responsible for controlling realistically where your elbow's at in space. We're making those ones engage and control and really work and develop in a lot of ways. A great exercise to increase some mobility. This is mainly an endurance exercise. It works great on strength days too, but you can really gain a lot from it. So next one we're going to be moving into is a tabletop. We do it for our leg tucks. We do it in the single arm version. So this is a what's referred to as a single arm tabletop. So tabletops, one thing that discovered as we started teaching the leg tuck was as people were coming down, they had to be able to control that force, and that's why we started introducing this inside the exercise, inside the program, so that way they could have some exercises to address their lower back and their high glutes, so they could be developed so as people are coming back down from the leg tuck, they're able to control that force. And we added the single arm variants into it just that way we can yeah, it is a little bit more complex, but it's also very simple. There's not a lot of stress resistance that you're fighting against, and we can still continue to work and push on some shoulder development while we're doing that, so we can get a lot for it. And once again, we mainly use this on our strength and endurance days. You can either do it for reps, or you can do it against the clock. Both of them are really good. The next one we're moving into, it's a very simple exercise. These are called inline pull-ups. So we're going to be holding the bar similar to how we're going to be holding it whenever it becomes time for the leg tuck event. Dominant hand closest to our face, and we're just flexing at the elbow and pulling ourselves straight up. So we've just simplified one area of the leg tuck and started developing. What I want you to take away from this is, are you the type of person who does better looking at the bar or looking straight ahead? You'll notice I do it both ways, and you don't need to be discovering this on test day. You need to find it out before. And this is mainly something we use on our power days. So this is referred to as a gymnast crunch. This is one that we will also use on our power train days, but you can use it on strength days for strength training events. Just mounting up in a captain's chair and raising your hips as high up in the air as you can, and trying to get a little bit of hold up there at those top parts too. You really get a lot of, if you're trying to develop those abs to help get a few more in, it's a great one to work on. And our last one here is what we refer to as an X-up. All right, so we're actually a little bit wide, grip's a little bit wide, and our feet are a little bit wide. And we're trying to rotate and bring our knees up to our hands. Kind of similar to what you'll see a lot of people do toes to the bar. What we're going for here on this one, compared to the other ones, is we're actually trying to get a little bit of curl in our pelvis coming up. And that's what we're looking for. And that's where you get the big training from. Once again, this is a good power day exercise. Mount the bar and see if you can get a few of them in. It's hard to get any bands or anything to support you with it though, but good power training exercise. So whenever we talk about grip strength, we break this down into 3 different categories. The first of these categories is what's referred to as crush strength. Crush strength is your ability to take and put something in your palm and crush it, right? Whether it be a ball, an orange, an egg, whatever, that ability for you to hold it in your palm and crush it, squeeze as hard as you can against it, that's what we refer to as that point. The next one is what we refer to as pinch strength, right? That's the ability to actually pinch and grab and hold something in between your fingers. The last one that we're going to be going over is finger strength. And that's the ability for your fingers themselves just to resist stress. Now, for the purpose of the leg tuck, we're going to go ahead and take the pinch strength. This doesn't factor in any way, and we're going to go ahead and remove it. And we're going to be talking about the other two. So we have finger strength and we have crush strength. Well, we're going to focus first on crush strength because this is what we want you to be using whenever you're doing the leg tuck. The reason crush strength is where we want you to be focused is whenever you're able to take and get your full hand around something and squeeze and pull tight, not only is there activation inside of your forearm, but there's a lot of activation that occurs inside of your bicep. And these are big, powerful muscles able to provide a lot of force. This is how we want you to learn to hold on to the bar, whether it be for a pull-up or the leg tucks, whether it be for a deadlift, whatever it is, we want you to be able to reach up and grasp around it and squeeze and be able to have your thumb be able to lock around. This is really efficient. You can actually hold it for a long time. The reason we don't want you to be utilizing finger strength whenever we're going through a lot of these exercises, and yeah, I'm the guy that's went as far as telling people that going to hang from the bar is toxic training, don't do it. Our fingers they have a lot of motor skills. They have a lot of dexterity that exists inside of them. What they don't have is a lot of power strength attached to them. That's just not there. Now, yeah, you can train it. If you're a rock climber, you can go build up that strength inside of them to where they have the ability to support your whole body weight. But if you can't execute one pull-up, your hands most definitely do not have the power strength inside of them for you to be using your hands as hooks and hanging from the bar as long as you can. Remember, injury is a result of load exceeding capacity, and you are pressing the amount of capacity that that the tendons and ligaments inside your hands, the amount of capacity that they're able to handle whenever you choose to just hang straight from the bar. So that's why we don't want you training this way. And go back, we want to have that crush strength where you're getting your hand up over, you're reaching around, thumbs touching, and you're trying to crush with that bicep activation. That way we're getting the good power up there to hold you up. Final note on this, whenever we're going through and we're doing the leg tuck, we have our hands directly in front of us. Our crush strength mainly comes from our 2 pointer fingers here. These 2 guys are directly tied to your bicep. So if I have my 2 hands up here in front of me and I squeeze tight here, these fingers are completely null and void. They're all the way out of it. our pointer finger, our trigger finger and pointer finger are going to be the ones that are mostly activated. And those are also the ones that are directly wired to the biceps. So you're going to be having good activation and be able to hold that for a longer period of time by utilizing and training in that area. So these are referred to as walking high bicep curls. So we're holding our arms out straight and pulling them straight back as far as we can, and then locking in and taking a few steps back against the resistance bands. These do a really good job of helping address getting some bicep endurance work, working on a grip strength, and you'll discover whenever you do them that your abs get a lot of activation while you're doing these as well. We mainly do these on our strength days. They do get some reps on whenever we do endurance, but whenever we're trying to build up that strength in the bicep and in the grip, this is mostly where these will get utilized. But a few reps of these ones can really get some good benefits for your training. You'll develop crush strength in your grip really quick with these. So next one that we're moving on is the seated lat pull down. I much prefer the seated version of the lat pull down with your legs straight out in front of you. The reason being is that you do need a lot of ab strength whenever you're doing these, and this is a great way to add that into it to get your body accustomed to activating those large lat muscles with the abs engaged too, working. This is just a nice, easy way to do it. Very simple, and you can find this anywhere. We mainly use these on our power days to help build a lot of other work in. So let's go into the headbangers. Do the pull up, hold it, and just back and forth. Try to extend those arms out as far as you can. Power day, you can't get a lot of reps of these in, but the ones that you do can really make a big difference. So these are referred to as runner hammer curls. So we're in the runner's position, fighter's position. Get our hips back, and we are doing a hammer curl, but notice that we're also have really engaged our back and our abs to where the force of what one arm's doing is not affecting the other. So there's a lot of stabilization force going in here. We do not use this as power training. We're not trying to max out reps. We usually try to max out a time on this. So this is really a very good strength training maneuver, just to have all that stress placed against the body and try to make it work against it and fight against it and control it. And the bicep activation is really important as we move into trying to get more and more of these in. So next we're going to be going into, we want to throw one little stretch in here for you all. Make sure that you're stretching at the end of your workouts. It is incredibly vital, especially for back workouts. You don't want them shortening up. This is what I call dragon back. So just crossed over the hands, and then we push them down, keep them as close as we can to our body. And once we're down to the ground here, we just work them side to side and back and forth, and just help those back muscles fully stretch out. Try to go through their full range of motion as we're cooling down after a workout. This is what they consider an active cool down. Yeah, really prefer it on whenever you do any type of power or strength training. Those active cool downs can really do a lot to help you on the recovery stage. And now we're going to go into the actual leg tuck. I was told there was 21 on this whenever it's graded. Did 22 of them, 21 counted, but the max is a 20. So mounting the bar, dominant hand close to our face, and pulling straight up. Remember that you do have to be squared to the bar whenever you start. After that, if your body wants to turn naturally, it's fine, but at the starting position, you do have to be squared to the bar. And we are flexing at the elbow and pulling our knees up and having it touch both elbows at the same time, and then returning all the way back down to the starting position. Arms straight, knees straight, and once we get there, pulling back up and then releasing back down. Really being able to control that force coming back down, so that way you can start bringing momentum back. This is really one of the big keys to this, but that's what it looks like to max. On a closing note, I want to give you one last thing that can really help you be able to get out a few more reps on the leg tuck. If you're having to move less mass, it's going to make a world of difference. And whenever we talk about mass in this, we're talking about body fat. If you have a large muscular frame, listen, muscles do really good controlling muscles in space. If you have a lot of body fat on your frame, muscles have to use a lot of energy to control the momentum that fat can make whenever it's being asked to move. So being able to just slim down, right? Being able to drop some of your body fat can make a world of difference. Being able to get a lot of reps, and I actually find this more with people who fall into the skinny fat category rather than the big power lifters. The people who are skinny fat, they do have some muscle tone, but them being able to just drop a little bit of body fat percentage can drastically increase their performance on a leg tuck really quick, because they're going to be moving less weight, and the weight that they're moving is going to be able to move more efficiently. So keep that in mind in your training programs. On a closing note, my name is Benjamin Morris. I'm founder here at Outtrained. I am a tactical strength and conditioning facilitator, military master fitness instructor, master resilience instructor, and 10 cycles as a drill sergeant. And before my name is the title Best Warrior anywhere I go. I thank you for your time. Remember, pressure is a privilege, and hit the subscribe button, please. We done? We're done. Thank you.